what I really want to get across is how important I think it is that we give service users a voice and foster their independence to make changes and not to rely on other people to do it.
Right now I'm socialising more, I'm making new friends, and the confidence is not fully there, but it's going the right way, you know, so I'm getting very confident. What am I most proud of? Well, I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, this year alone I've raised for a disabled school. I raised so much that they couldn't accept all of it, and I had to find it because it's disability awareness. And then I had to find another disability to donate the rest to, and when I've gone there, they needed volunteers, and I arranged a group of volunteers to go and volunteer there, and everyone bonded. So I mean, would I have ever done something like this without the Flick team? So I think that's what it's done, it's changed me.
I found a project that, because I went down the route of self-employment because I didn't think I was worth being employed for a holistic side of things, but my passion has always been around people with complex needs and being able to support people, so I felt like Fulfilling Lives has given me like a brilliant opportunity to go ahead and do that, not just in a paid role, so I've done it for a long time in voluntary sector, so just to be able to have some, you know, build up my self-esteem to know that I'm worth being employed and I'm worth studying and I'm worth all the things that I have in my life today.
Well, Fulfilling Lives is important for me because since I got into recovery, it's just helped me massively with my confidence, my future career prospects, where I'm going to go with the rest of my life. The whole thing for me has just been a huge confidence boost from the moment I got into it to where I am now, attending things like this. I mean, a year ago I didn't leave my flat for months on end, and now I'm coming away to London and Brighton. The project at Fulfilling Lives as a whole has just taught me that I'm capable of doing a lot more than I personally thought I would be able to do. Coming to conferences like today, getting involved in group discussions, actually putting ideas ahead to the rest of the group, them listening to my ideas, you know, so these are things that I couldn't have done a year ago. So it's also helped sort of shape my future plans, because I've always worked in admin sort of based positions, that's all I've ever really done. And now, from coming through the recovery myself, I still really thought my future would just be once I recovered, whatever you want to say, that I'd just go back into the same old job. Being a volunteer, working with people, the clients and things like that has made me realise actually this is a line of work that not only would I like to do, I think I'd get a hell of a lot out of doing it. And it's changed my whole way of thinking of where I'm going with my life, in all honesty. I mean, it's not huge to some people, but for me to walk in a room with all 50, 60 people and actually walk in reasonably confident now, not be frightened, that's probably my personal biggest achievement.
For me, I'm going to say it's more the fact of, for the long-term prisoners, that when they come out, I'd like them to have somebody that they can come out to, and somebody that's going to have had that same experience as them, and not just be coming out and having to meet someone that's read a book that just looks at them as a wage and a target for their little boxes. It needs to be about the person themselves, and realise that the long-term prisoners have actually got families, and it's scary for them to come out of prison and to walk down a street and everything that they once knew is not there anymore. And I think that that's where I'd like the change to be. I'd like the change to be that they come home and they get to realise what's at home, not, wow, I'm that scared that I'd rather go spend the rest of my life in prison. So that's the thing for me.
I'd like to think that the work that we're doing with this Through the Gate provision, I'd like to think that we could maybe turn this into a social enterprise and take it forward. So in relation to what impact would that have on in West Yorkshire, I'd like to think that we could maybe be going more into the local prison and having a huge impact on reducing reoffending, certainly within Leeds at the very least.
I'm actually quite a nice person. I'm not useless. I'm not a waste of space, and I have got quite a lot to give. It's given me the confidence to come back to work. It's given me the confidence to talk to people, to sit in a room. It's given me the confidence not to isolate myself. And it's keeping me out of police cell, out of hospitals, and out of people's bad books.
The key things I've learned is the power of storytelling to get people's voices heard. The impact of listening to someone's story is a lot greater than just reading case stories. So it's a better impact if you can hear that person's voice or hear their story. High up, like commissioners and the high bods, as I call them, if they hear and see a story, the impact, you take that away and it doesn't go away. It's real life, and I think that's one of the biggest things when you do these stories, is that's the biggest impact you get. You don't forget hard-hitting stories when you see it and hear it for yourself from them people. Myself, I featured on Radio 5 Live, and being filmed or talking is just a big thing for me, so I was very proud of that. That's something personally I was proud of, and to be part of that project.
I was so ashamed about where I'd been and what I'd done, and I thought my life had been wasted, and that brought huge feelings of guilt and shame on myself. But to be able to use that now in a positive way, it sort of empowered me for good. I just find it really valuable, and I think it's something that should be in the long term and not just a short term thing, and I think a lot of people can get a lot of value from it. I feel hugely motivated by what I do now, and I'm hoping in the future that it will become a full-time part of my life. So yeah, I feel truly humbled to be an expert citizen, to be honest. And yeah, let's make things change.
The way this programme that I'm in has been put together has just been as if it was designed for me. I've always been quite scared of the classroom, but the way that this training was delivered has just been fantastic. It's just been a whole bring it on kind of thing. I can't wait for tomorrow, if you like. You know, it's fantastic. Feeling good.
I have to take responsibility. I have to be the best person I can be on any given day, because if I'm not, that can send me. There's depression in there. There's everything, and I can go back there very quickly.
And through Waves, it helped me because I've become homeless. I was in a hostel, but I was still surrounded around with like the drugs and the alcohol. And I chose to stay in my other house at the time. I lost my room, so I became homeless, living on the streets. Got involved with Waves, and they helped me. That now I'm in a flat of my own now. Lovely place it is. And yeah, I'm still working with Waves of Hope and hopefully becoming a peer mentor. It's made a difference, because if I didn't have Waves of Hope or New Beginnings support me, I think I still would have been homeless. I'm proud that I've gone so far, like to where I was when I was homeless and drinking and smoking drugs, to where I am now, do you know what I mean? So I've come a long, long way to where I am, and I'm happy to where I am, where I've got to, do you know what I mean?
Fulfilling Lives really, from the beginning, gave me a chance to get a full-time employment. I'd volunteered in services for about 4 or 5 years, and because I'm from a multiple and complex needs background myself, and had criminal record, I was finding it really difficult to gain full-time employment. People wouldn't give me a chance, and Fulfilling Lives gave me that chance. I was taken on as an apprentice navigator, and I'm now a volunteer coordinator and leading on service user involvement. So it's really helped me progress through my career path.
It's made a massive impact on me, knowing that I can actually produce and help with things like this. That there are no big important people out there. There's just human beings who do their best. Some have been to Eton and Harrow, some have been to the School of Hard Knocks. But they're actually all human beings. And whether I agree or disagree, they're all trying to do their best. having gone over the fact that loads of my friends have died from this, in our group, only over five years, one person has died. Only one person. And that in itself is an achievement. These people are people's sons and daughters, people's mothers and fathers, brothers, sisters. They're not scum of the earth. They're making poor decisions, and with our help and them helping us in turn, we can change that.
I'm basically just very, very grateful for what Fulfilling Lives have done for me.